Some breaking news as we come to air. At least 3 people have been killed in a shooting at a hostel in KwaMashu in KwaZulu-Natal. Police say the motive for the attack is yet still unknown. In fact, Newzroom Africa's Corinda Jagwan airs live for us not too far from the scene. Corinda, at this point, what do we know as far as the facts are concerned?
Indeed. Well, at this point, the confirmed number of deceased are 3 men. My colleague Sponsen Gubande will show you visuals. Now, this is where police are allowing the media to stand at this point because their investigations are continuing. In fact, we've seen a number of policemen with large rifles as well entering the scene. And at this point, it seems that the suspects are still at large. What we know so far is this was a group of suspects that entered the area. The shootout occurred and then fled the scene. We're hearing just some words from police as they talk and saying that when they got here, those had just passed away, in fact. So that is what's happening now. And right now inside, it's really quite an area where there's no sort of infrastructure at this point. I've seen bottles of alcohol lying around, so it's unclear exactly what was happening in here. But maybe we can give you just a look of the scene around us as it is. My colleague Sponsen Gubande and I will show you and take you around. Of course, there are a number of media here for this breaking story. So let's show you the police that are around us. This is some of the police members that are standing by here. And the entire road where this hostel area is filled with police vehicles. Now, the report online is that this happened at a hostel, but in fact it happened next to one of the KwaMashu hostels in the area of informal settlements that are just nearby, as you saw where we were. But in the meantime, you can see police cordoning off these areas. And of course, at this point, they are still searching for the suspects. But what we know so far is that violence is at an all-time high in KwaMashu, as it has been for several months. We heard the ward councillor speak about the proliferation of firearms, which is a major concern in this area, especially because just yesterday one person was killed in a drive-by shooting here in KwaMashu. So that is the area as well. So perhaps let's take our viewers back to the crime scene after we showed you the police contingent that are around us. But you can see the area that is here. It must have been very easy for the suspects to get away, to just move around these informal settlements. And at this point, of course, we are still waiting for the number of people that were injured. So we know 3 men have been killed so far and a number of people injured. It's unclear how many. Of course, the ward councillor has been here for a while, just trying to get the facts as it stands, and we spoke to him a bit earlier, but we can peep over and show you the crime scene as well, and to just discuss what is happening. But Timikile, of course, the major concern is the increasing violence in this area. In fact, remember last year in September, 5 people were murdered in the space of at least a week. So that was a major concern as well. We are still waiting for the police spokesperson to come through and just give us a wrap of what exactly is happening. And also just to understand, of course, these are men with guns and they were here for quite a while, opening fire on a number of people. You know, where exactly are they? How are police tracking them down? Earlier, as we were driving around KwaMashu, we did see some police vehicles in the area, so it seems like they might be searching for some of the suspects. So that is what is happening on the ground now, and at this point police are really coming and going, and it is policemen with large firearms. So you can see this, of course, is quite an in-depth investigation. But as soon as we get to the police spokesperson, we will give you another update of exactly what could have happened here, perhaps give us an idea of the motive and why violence is increasing in this area. Of course, earlier the ward councillor saying that there needs to be a special ranking police team here. Take a look again at the crime scene as we see it. You'll see here, perhaps my colleague can stand on this side and you can just look through. There's benches and it seems that there could have been a scuffle inside as well. You can take a look closer. But of course this is just yet another incident of violence, not just looking at KwaMashu or eThekwini, but countrywide, of course. The killings, violence and crime in particular, just at an all-time high.
And Corinda, while we wait to hear more facts about what happened in KwaMashu this afternoon, we were just looking at the area itself, densely populated. It makes you wonder if there were any other eyewitnesses to the crime. And B, it also makes it clear how an attacker could easily get away, because if someone disappears in that area where you are, it appears near impossible to try and find them at speed.
Absolutely, there are avenues all around us. There's an avenue right here behind us. You can get into a small space between two shacks and escape through that route. So it is an area that is very easy for someone to get away. Of course, this entire area here is an informal settlement, and of course there may have been eyewitnesses, but as we drove into KwaMashu, everyone was really going about their daily business. And we'll, of course, just look at these issues. But another perspective here, Timikile, and we'll just take you through this way as well, is that it seems like this is a normal thing for people. You know, many people are sitting around just really watching the police unfold. No one seems innately filled with fear, as per se, and that really goes back to what the councillor says, is that this kind of crime happens so often in KwaMashu that almost every day, every night at least, you hear gunshots go off, and he was speaking to the number of firearms that are actually present in this area. So, of course, what we know now is this is a place where there is escalation of violence, so much so that people do not fear it. They do not think twice. I mean, just on the street, just near us, it's, you know, business as usual, and it's not as much of a shock for many of the local residents as it might be for people that are watching this, because here in KwaMashu, crime is just an everyday matter.
Jacqueline, let's leave you to gather a bit more facts for us. We'll come back to you later.